Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. I'm just waiting for our guest of honor, I guess. Mountain Man's going to come in and we can ask him questions. So if you guys would, when he comes in, put your questions down as, put M&M in front of the question, and then I'll ask Mountain Man your question, or Believe In, or Diamond will. And we'll have some fun with him tonight.
And let's pray. Let's all pray that he has a good connection tonight, because sometimes he crackles right in the middle of what he's trying to make.
This is true. Yeah. This is true. You want to say a prayer, Believe In?
Sure.
Okay.
Father, I come to you tonight. I ask for forgiveness of my sins, anything that I've thought, said, or done tonight or today that's not pleasing to you. And I ask that you cover the airways tonight as we meet, and that Mountain Man will have a supernatural connection tonight. There will be no crackles or drops or anything, Father. Just let your angels cover those lines and the airways in this chat, Father, so there will be no disruptions. And I just ask this in Jesus Christ's name.
Let it be so.
Amen, Believe In. That was awesome. So we can just chit-chat while we wait for him, I guess, ladies.
Hi, Tracy Q.
Hi, EOT. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, hey, everybody in chat.
Cha-Cha, love you, girl. Tracy Q, thank you for being here. Liz Grizz. Vicky Soros. John Dunning. Who else are we missing? Outlandish Patriot. Sharon Mercier is here. What's that?
Oh, I was just saying hi to Lily J. Hello.
Oh, Lily J's here. Hello. Oh, there's Mountain Man.
Oh, there he is.
All right. Let's drop this link for Mountain Man and we'll get going.
Hi, Alicia Parker. Maria retired.
There we go. Mary Freeland, hey. Hi, Wilma. My Rock My Salvation, hello. Bubba Morris, love you. Joe Carroll's here. Hi, Joe Carroll. Hi, Bobcat. Mountain Man, I dropped the link for you. Did Mountain Man grab it?
Stay back. Get back. Get back. Okay, I hear somebody.
That was my husband. He's just coming in from the grocery store.
No. Oh, I thought I heard somebody come into backstage.
Maybe
it's just.
Nope, you are right. No, okay. Hi, Mountain Man. How are you?
Hi. That was a very nice prayer that you gave, and I hope it comes true. Am I coming through smooth?
5 by 5.
Because I get aggravated and I say wordy dirds when it doesn't work.
Wordy dirds. I heard him say a wordy dird one night.
Oh yeah, that was a rare one, Nikki. I was mad.
I could tell you were mad. He dropped a F-bomb.
Oh, I was talking about a knife and fork. You misunderstood me.
I thought you were trying to talk about a fork. I thought you said fork.
But anyway, I hope you all are doing well. I didn't come in last night. I'm up to our elbows and doing stuff. And also you had a full room. I mean, you had the whole screen was full of people. And I want to say hi to everybody in the chats. And I want to say hi to everybody that is going to be watching us after the live stream, because StreamYard reminded me to do that.
Oh, okay.
So hello to everybody that watches afterwards tomorrow, next week. Hello.
Hello.
But anyway, you had a screen full, and everybody was talking, and you were just all seeming to have a good time, and you got into what was it? You got into some back in the day talk, and I know what it was: collecting bottles,
Yes.
recycling bottles. And somewhere along the line, somebody's like, "Oh, let's not talk about this again." And everybody said, "Okay," and then we moved on to another subject. And I had to go out of the house and do some things, and time goes by,
Yeah.
So
I'm
anyway,
very sorry for the loss of your friend, and you're having to deal with all that.
well, I wanted to say a little something because I don't want to, people's privacy, and when people pass away, you want to be careful and make sure you're respectful and everything like that, especially in a public forum. But he was a good friend, and I feel terrible about what happened. But I will say something to everybody that's listening now, and everybody who listens in the future. If you have to go through the unfortunate event of a divorce, someone who said they were going to take care of you in sickness and health, and better or worse, and they shag out on you, make sure you have what's called the inviculo. That is the term of the final decree of divorce. Make sure you have that. If somebody has left you and no longer gives you the time of day, and you get a copy of that, and you make sure someone in your family, your loved ones, have a copy. And I won't get into too much detail, but somebody who I said a long time ago, if you want to find out who your friends are, end up in a wheelchair for about 2 months and you'll find out.
Yeah.
And excuse me if I did. Well, it's okay. I was going to yell at the cat for scratching the furniture. But anyway, she quit. She knows. Anyway. When somebody passes away, it's amazing how many people start driving by the house that you never saw before or haven't seen in years. And in my day, I've seen family members fight over a broken VCR. I mean, so you got to make sure you got nobody likes talking about it, but we all got to go there. Like my grandmother used to say, nobody ever got off this world alive. So make sure you got your affairs in order, especially if you have somebody who has abandoned you, left you, and spiritually and physically. Make sure your family members can defend themselves with that inviculo, which was the case in this situation, but it didn't stop an attempt.
Yeah.
For somebody
I've seen it, Mountain Man. Death brings out just the evilness in people.
It sure does. It sure does. And then all of a sudden you start hearing about how good they were to that person while they were alive, and how they're so sad it happened, et cetera, et cetera. And you know from experience that it's a bunch of hooey.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I thought tonight, if you wouldn't mind, we're going to do some Q&A with you. Is that okay?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to get over swat at this cat.
That's okay.
I shouldn't have let her in before I started. I shouldn't have let her in before I started broadcast.
That's okay.
She was belonged to the person that has gone to his great reward. And what am I going to do?
Right. You're going to keep her and you're going to love her.
I'm a look.
Dad?
No, well, it's her world. I live in it.
That's right. So what do you think about some Q&A with you tonight?
What's that?
I said, how about some Q&A with you tonight?
that'd be fine. But I do want to say that I do have a bottle story. Remind me later.
Oh, well, tell it now because Diamond's here and she might like to hear that.
Tell it now.
Tell it now.
Okay, this is just from my dusty memory banks. Different states, I guess, had different things because I heard somebody say, I can't watch the screen whose emoji or whatever is pulsing. So I don't remember who was saying what. But I heard somebody say, well, they didn't do the returns on bottles till like the 80s or late 80s.
That was me. That was me that said that.
Who's me?
Oh, me is Nikki.
Oh, okay, Nikki.
Okay, but hold on. So what was happening last night is the night before that, we had game night. And there was a question asked that how much was a Coke, Diamond, in 1975? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
It gave us an option of 5 cents, 10 cents, and 20 cents, was it?
Yes. Yep.
So we all answered 10 cents in 1975. Well, the answer was 5 cents, which led us to talk about returning bottles.
Well,
that's how it went.
It depended on the size of the bottle. Those little bottles you pull out of the top of you have a chest and you open the top of the chest and you pull the bottle out. And back in the day, it didn't have any. You just reach in, there were cases in there and you got your bottle. There was no mechanical operation to it. It was just go reach in there and get your Coke or whatever, Pepsi, 7-Up, 10, 12, and 2, Dr. Pepper. But I remember going along the road, kicking in the grass along the ditch in the road, find me a bottle. And it had a 5-cent return on it. And when I was buying comic books, they were 12 cents. So I could go, this story, you could say how I became a conservative.
Oh.
So me and my brothers would go around, one take one side of the road, one take the other. And I would, go. I was the littlest one, so I was the one who was like the Christmas story. I think I told you before about the one of the BB gun so bad, and then Santa Claus said you put your eye out with that,
you shoot and your eye out, kid.
Yeah. Well, I was this little brother. I'm the one that had the big park on where I couldn't move my arms. I fell down the snow and couldn't get back up. That's what Mom used to do with me. But anyway, I was go along, kicking along, and you think to yourself, I get 3 bottles. I get my 12-cent comic book, and I get a penny candy. My penny candy. So 3 bottles were 15 cents, and I got 3 penny candies and a comic book. Then I remember, so sometimes you find 2, and I tell you that last bottle, you walk a mile. When you're a kid, who knows how far you traveled in the day. When you get home, when it started getting dark, your mother said, "Where you been?" You couldn't tell her. But anyway, you get 3 bottles, you get your comic book and your candy. I remember they started a tax in the early 60s. I remember when that started. Why do I remember? Because I couldn't get my candy. I would get my comic book and I get 1 piece of candy. So they were stealing candy from kids. Think about that. So then they raised the comic books to 15 cents. I had to find 4 bottles. So now we're talking about child labor, slave labor, all to pay that stupid tax. So anyway, that was in the early 60s. But I guess each state has had its own return policy on bottles. Some states didn't have, you didn't return them. Some of you did. Some bottles I would kick and it would say I could only get money for it in Vermont. Guess what I did? I throw that bottle out in the field. But anyway, that's my story about bottles and how I became a conservative and how I realized that the politicians will take candy from a kid and make them walk a quarter mile looking for another bottle.
My grandfather used to collect bottles. He used to ride his bike everywhere he went. I mean, this man would ride for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. And he would collect bottles, and he had a basket, and he'd put all the bottles. And I'll tell you what, when my little brother graduated high school, he had $5,000 saved in bottles.
Oh, I'm just telling the comic book story to make it simple. But me and my brothers, boy, I tell you, we didn't have plastic bags, baby. It was Safeway bags with handles on them, like cardboard. They were paper bags.
Yeah, paper bags.
Yeah, and talk about learning how to take care of stuff. You want that bag to get wet, you be going around getting your bottles, and that's why I kick the grass, the tufts of grass on the road. A lot of times that's where you find them. They get up the grass, nobody could see them. You get along and kick it with your foot, and there comes a bottle out. So anyway, but I use the
find money and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, especially if after you come on a car wreck,
right.
Take all kinds of stuff in the road. But anyway, that's I did the comic book candy thing to make it simple. But the bottom line is, state tax was something I could understand, feel, and cost me more walking and my candy. And that's nobody's losing their candy when stuff happens anymore.
Bubba Morris said he used a shopping cart for transporting his bottles.
Ha ha! Well, everybody's done the cans too, aluminum cans.
Hey, Mountain Man, have you met Diamond Lil?
I've been on the show. She's been on there before.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the first time.
And I know you've met Believin'.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is at least my third minute.
Yeah, I think it's your third. One of them got taken down though. So listen, we're going to try to use our words very, very carefully tonight. So let's try not to use any trigger words, but can we do some questions and answers with you? And I'm going to have chat ask some questions too, but I want to start with one.
Yeah, if you can read the chat for me.
Yeah, I will. I will.
You don't mind?
No, I don't mind at all.
Because I change this screen and it'll mess things up. I just ate a big cheeseburger. A big cheeseburger.
Lads down there, they're going to help me out with all this. We're good.
Okay.
But I want to start with Kanye West.
So
my question to you about Kanye.
Do
you think this is a good Do you think this is a good thing going on with him? Or do you think there's something behind this? Because I have my thoughts.
Did you hear the interview with Kanye? Sorry. Yay. I mean, ever since Cassius Clay changed Muhammad Ali, I try to go along. So anyway, Ye, did you see the interview Ye did when he was talking about how his brothers in the music industry saved him from doing an initiation rite?
I did not see that.
Oh gosh, I'll have to find that. See what they do, and you understand I'm talking careful. And future people who watch the broadcast and people watching now, I've been put on vacation for 2 weeks. And I posted on Truth Social a picture of a little love note I got from the company that put me on vacation that says if I use a different channel, that would be grounds to take down my entire account. And I have heard of creators that I've been watching for years that had their entire Google account removed.
Well, I'm
They
seeing a
had-
lot of this stuff happening. PayPal, they're going to start charging people $2,500.
Well,
if
I'll
you
get
get
into
conservative
that.
views.
I'll get into that in a bit because I have a PayPal account and they've been sending me stuff. Congratulations. You just got approved to apply for our credit card. Oh, well, thank you so much. Goodbye.
Right.
And, different things like that from PayPal. And I haven't heard from them for a couple of years. So they're in trouble on that. But I've got a notion on that. But I want to talk about Kanye, if I could, because he did an interview. And the reason I was telling our listeners that, one, I have to be careful with my words. So please try to listen to me about how I say it in a different way. Two, that I cannot save videos until my suspension is up. I can't save them to try to copy later. I can't put them on a watch later list. I can't do any of that, which is very unnerving. But anyway, he gave an interview where he said, I thank my brothers in the music industry that kept me from doing an initiation rite. He wouldn't say for who, but he said, if I would have done that initiation rite, they could put me in jail right now. And if you look up, I won't say the GOOG and the rest of it's LE word. If you look up, because you can use different things than that. If you look up Kanye jail, Kanye putting in jail, or something similar to that, you may find a clip. I just haven't had time. And if I find it, whoopee, I got to sit around for another week. And things are moving so fast, it's going to change so fast. But you will hear him, and he's saying that he was pressured to do an initiation rite that it would hang over his head. They said he said he's seen it done to other performers, and they use it as leverage to get them to sing their song. So
what you're saying, Mountain Man, is he did do that initiation.
He did not. And he thanked his brothers. He thanked his brothers in the music industry that he doesn't say who they are, that told him and hounded him not to do this initiation rite.
Okay.
And he didn't do the initiation rite. Because he said he's seen other performers do it. They send business their way. They send money their way. They send record deals that way. They're on top of the world, but they better do what they're told. But he says they'll put you in jail. But you and I know it's worse than that. Because I said before, on other shows we mutually watch. You may have heard me say this. Michael Jackson's on tape saying there's a group of people that want all my money, and they say they're going to KILL me. Mm-hmm. James Brown.
I've seen the James Brown one. I've seen that one.
James Brown, the last person that was with him in his hospital room, he told the person the exact same thing. And so it's
so we know that's going on in the music industry. We know that there's evil and that people have to, sell their soul to the devil, so to speak, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Or the cabal.
So I get that part, but my whole question is this. So you think he's going to do good then? He's here for the right reasons, and he's going to do, this is a good thing, right?
Yes, I do. And I believe that, like many other people, he's got to look over his shoulder. I'm hoping that I'm sure he's got some level of protection. But if you remember when he was in the Oval Office with Donald Trump, he was gushing for Donald Trump.
Yes.
And
but so was Kim, though, and I think Kim's a witch.
Kim who? Kardashian? she was irrelevant for a good year up until that jail reform.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was doing a lot of it self-serving,
Okay.
get herself back in the spotlight. Controversy, like Trump said back in the 80s, bad publicity is better than no publicity. And but she's out of the picture. She doesn't influence. She was wanting that prison reform. Trump did it. They thought it would bruise up with conservatives and evangelicals being soft on crime, but they were wrong because they proved that Biden is the reason those people, 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds with something as big as your fingernail, get 15 years in jail. Their lives are destroyed, and the majority of them black. Now, I don't care who they are. Most people say that is an awful thing for a society to do. And that was concerning crack cocaine. Everybody knows crack cocaine originated with one of the three-letter agencies that begins with a C. And it destroyed the black community. And controversy over Kim Kardashian working with Trump was supposed to harm Trump with conservatives and evangelicals and the tough on crime people. But it gave an opportunity to put out clips of Biden talking about putting animals away and making sure that they got the harshest punishment. And you've got so many tens of thousands of people that had a niece or nephew or somebody 17, 18, because at 17, they'll try an adult, for something that, half the politicians are doing anyway. They're put away for 50 years. And you know what they're going to come out as if they live to get out of it. It showed mercy on Trump. They backfired in their faces. You haven't heard much out of Kim Kardashian ever again. It was a Wile E. Coyote moment, except she got made relative for a brief period. Somebody like Kim Kardashian can't stand being irrelevant.
Oh, well,
and they thought they were going to ding Trump. And when he had that picture of him taken with that grandmother he let out of jail, and her saying, "I love this man," and tens of thousands of individuals getting out of jail and getting another crackdown, no pun intended, at life. That's why Trump is getting double the black vote and triple the Latino vote from last time.
If anybody has a question for Mountain Man, please put MM in front of your question and we'll ask him, okay, chat? Sorry, Mountain Man.
Yeah. Hey, I got my picture up that I had to put up on my Mountain Man 2 TO channel, but it always was a white blob. Anyway, but that's on my other channel. That's what my picture is.
Yep, it sure is. I was looking for you last night. I went over to Red's looking for you too.
Where? On his program?
He was on a lot. Yeah, he was on a live last night.
Oh, he didn't call me.
I asked him if he had spoken to you. I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Yeah, I'll go on with him. I'll go on people. If it's in the cards and I have time, I'm happy to do it. Because I can't go on. And I know, and I'm not going to call names because I don't want them to get in trouble. I like them. But people have their channel nixed. And you can go to Truth Social, and there'll be a copy of the notice YouTube sent me that if you use the second channel, they can take all your channels down and your whole account. So that's why I'm not doing it. Huh?
What's up? He can't see you. That's why, Diamond. What's up, Diamond?
Oh, no, I was just going to say you have a question in chat. Oh. Mary Freeland.
Okay.
Mary Freeland, Mountain Man is asking, Is Monkey Works part of the movie?
Monkey Works was, I tell you what, he was just like you and I, especially at the inauguration. If you ever want to spend the time to watch his presentations, inauguration day and the day after, when Trump went to Mar-a-Lago, he had every expectation that something was going to happen. His body language was excitable. He was agitated, but in a good way, I'll say a positive way. And he felt something was going to happen. That with the movement of the Doomsday plane, which was generally considered to be the second Air Force One movement, also the movement of the Doomsday plane to Texas. I won't say exactly where, because I believe that's one reason why Monkey Works disappeared for a week, if you will remember. Monkey Works, shortly after the inauguration, I think a couple of weeks, he was discussing a facility in Texas, and the no-fly zones around certain areas. He felt, to my memory, if you watch it again yourself, he felt that Trump was on his way back the next day.
So do you think he's part of the movie?
The point is that after he got back from his week where he just disappeared, he didn't tell us he got banned. He didn't tell us much anything, but he was hopped up on something going to happen big.
Yeah.
And then he smoothed out. And he smoothed out a lot of his talk. He started getting more technical. He started without the aura of anticipation or people on a hot seat. He calmed down. And I think somebody had to talk to him. I don't think he's part of the show any more than they want him to be. But I think he's been talked to about what you're thinking, Monkey Works, what you're thinking in the back of your mind. Your audience is feeling that there's something going to happen and Biden's going to be taken out. You need to cool that talk, because that's not going on right now. Do your show, but calm down, cool your jets. I think that's what happened with Monkey Works. That's my own supposition from intently watching myself.
Okay, that's good. So Mike C is asking, Mountain Man, he's saying Bible story, but I think what he's saying is, do you believe this is biblical?
I do. And I don't want people to confuse biblical with Armageddon or the end times. Because you read the stories, there are so many stories in the Bible. Not everything biblical means the end of the world or the return of Christ. Because if you'll remember, Christ was asked. He was asked by the Pharisees.
Wow, that was crazy. I just got bounced out. I wonder if Diamond did too.
What? Wait a minute. Let me put my glasses on. I see Nikki B. You're there, right, Nikki?
Yeah, I just came back. I got booted.
Huh. I see Believing. I believe it.
Hey.
Yeah, I see. Hey, Mountain.
Diamond got booted too.
Diamond, come back.
Diamond.
Yeah, Diamond, what happened? Anyway.
I think we both got booted out.
If you hadn't come back, I'd have thought it's rap. I'm just kidding. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I missed it though. So you're saying it's not the rapture and all that. I get that. So what else did you say? I missed it.
I just said if you hadn't come back on the screen, I would have thought it was the rapture.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, biblical, it's like there's one guy I've been watching for years. He said
Hang on
people
one
losing their
second,
job.
Diamond, I got booted
Oh.
too.
What the heck? We both at the same time, and I got an error message on StreamYard
So did I.
saying check your internet, and if it's not your internet, it must be on our end.
Yeah, I got these two were still up here, and me and you got booted.
I know. I didn't. I couldn't really read the error message, so I went back on YouTube and I saw Believing in Mountain Man was still there.
Well, now listen, guys. I want to finish answering this nice person, and that's about the biblical thing. Diamond and Vicky, I want to tell you that it does weird stuff, and I'm not saying I'm anything special. I only have 545 subscribers because somebody dropped off both my channels today, and I'll get into that later. But
we're dropping your link, Mountain Man. So go on.
But I've been kicked off twice. I have reviewed what they said I did. I did not. I've been kicked off before, appealed, and won a number of times. So you all have heard my streams. They are not nearly what you hear from a lot of other people. I keep my feet on the ground and I tell it like it is in ways people can understand, and people who have no idea will be curious and start verifying what I say and understand something is very wrong. That approach has got somebody messing with me.
I think
because they love it.
to be honest with you.
They had, what's that?
I think we're all being messed with.
Well, I've been taken down twice, and
it's going to get worse, just so you know.
I've lost those appeals. I've won 3 appeals. I've lost 2 appeals. I mean, 5 times for my little peanut channel. My Google account being messed with. My having to redo my banking passwords and all this kind of stuff. Because once you take off, you take off.
Yeah. All right, I got more questions. They're piling up here, Mountain Man. Can I keep asking?
Okay, the biblical thing I just want to tell you, it's like a friend of mine said, people losing their jobs is not biblical. Governments changing is not biblical. Biblical means punishment in a biblical manner. And truth being exposed in a biblical scale. So that's what's going to happen. Okay.
What do you think about that?
Huh?
I was talking to Believin' real quick. Believin', what do you got to say about the biblical end?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Bible tells us as it was in the days of Noah, it will be like that in the end. And we're seeing that every day. I mean, even worse than what I could ever imagine.
Jesus told the Pharisees, not even the angels know the day and the time. I don't know, not even the angels, only the Father.
That's right.
Okay,
next question. Quiltar is asking, Mountain Man, will there be a red wave? What can we expect?
Oh, boy, howdy. There will be a red wave. And there's 2 ways this can go. It can go like the last election, and I won't say any words, and the media will support it, and the people will be enraged. Or they have to submit and say, So those are the 2 main ways. They're either going to take a beating and live with it and try to wiggle out of best they can, or they're going to do what they did in 2020, and the media is going to try their best to support it, which will enrage the people. But do you think for a minute that they are just going to give up? Of course not. So there's a third scenario, a disruption or a delay.
So be ready for it. Be a delay?
Be ready for it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, me either.
Because if it's something that is beyond their apparatus's ability, the apparatus they have installed, its ability to credibly with up that way.
Do you think,
I can see them riding off in sunset because they know they're not going to make it to sunset. They're not running off anywhere. Nobody is away from this.
do you think Nancy Pelosi is going to take the presidency?
I'm sorry?
Do you think Nancy Pelosi is going to take the presidency?
No, and there's no way for her to do it. Putin said US presidents are chosen by men in black suits. I did if you look through my videos, I've got a picture of Joe Biden with Nancy Pelosi rubbing hands behind him in the thumbnail, and then the other side of Kamala pointing at him, laughing. And it's who will be next? I did this video months ago, and it talks about how when Nixon resigned, that Kissinger was Henry Kissinger. Everybody knows him. He is George Soros level, actually above. Okay, Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger, not a lot of Americans that all know this, was temporarily the acting vice president of the United States under Richard Nixon. When Spiro Agnew resigned, you had Henry Kissinger. Everybody says, well, it should have been Nancy Pelosi. She's third line. No. What happens is if something happens to the vice president, the Secretary of State becomes acting vice president. Not a lot of people know that. And it's already happened in history. And it may have happened in 2020. Mike Pompeo may have been acting president. Acting vice president, I'm sorry, because of the Pence situation. But if you all will please bear with me, because it's important to know, because it's true. It's history. So, Nixon nominated to the Senate, the House had nothing to do with it, Gerald Ford, a senator from Michigan nobody ever heard of, to be his vice president. The Senate approved Gerald Ford. Everybody talked about how wonderful he was. He was an athlete, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so you had Gerald Ford as vice president, Henry Kissinger still Secretary of State, and Richard Nixon the president. Well, guess what happens? Nixon resigns. What happened then? Gerald Ford became president. Henry Kissinger, once again, was acting vice president. Wow. You had somebody in the position we know he's in, one step away from the presidency. And if you remember, well, I'll get into this in a second because of the Lincoln situation. But anyway, so here we are. We have resigned. Ford, who nobody elected, he was chosen. Who knows who pressured Nixon to pick Ford? This man becomes president of the United States without a single vote from an American citizen. Okay. Henry Kissinger is again temporary acting vice president. What does Ford do? Ford nominates Nelson Rockefeller. And the Senate speedily approves Nelson Rockefeller, someone no American voted for. And you had a president and a vice president nobody ever voted for. And that has happened. I did a video months ago. And we all know Rockefeller Foundation and their influence with medical protocols and the can I say PHARMA protocol. So as president and vice president, then they put in malleable clown puppet called Jimmy Carter, and did just what they did this time, but this time they're more prepared. They showed enough of their hand where the people said, "The hell with this," and they elected Ronald Reagan. And I put up an electoral map that was, back then it was the Republicans were blue. The first election, a sea of blue is what David Brinkley on NBC News called the American continent. A sea of blue. He won 48 states his first time, 49 the second. That's when they changed it to red. They had already had it in the works to even steal our colors. Anyway, so that answers Nancy Pelosi wouldn't get anywhere near the White House just because she's in the third line of the presidency. That's only under the situation where something happens and the president and vice president are gone or incapacitated or captured. So she's nowhere near the presidency. They will stick somebody in there. They is in the course too. How do you slip one in? If you go to that 17th letter and you put those words in there, you will see what I'm talking about. How do you slip one in? They were talking about Hillary. So how's that for an answer? I hope that suits everybody.
Was good. That was good. But access through Christ, no, we don't tolerate boys dressing like girls. So I'll answer that question.
No, I don't tolerate that for a minute.
Okay, so what do you think about Mr. We like to call him Pelosi with the hammer to the head story?
Everybody I know that is in the know, everybody who has at least one eye open as far as being awake, fought right away male prostitute. I mean, there didn't need to be the proof. What more proof do people need than two men in their underwear fighting over a hammer at 2:00 in the morning? It was a boy toy, and I'm going to put. I was going to do a show. Something happened to me, and I couldn't do it. I was going to do a show last, and I was going to start off part of it, and I'm still going to do it. So y'all better watch my show. And if I get to this story, don't skip it or not my show, because I have more with it. But I wanted to say something, a public question of Dr. Fauci. How do you make a hormone? Everybody knows he's in the labs. He does all these experiments. Let me ask you that answer. How do you make a hormone? And does anybody in the chats know the answer? Because if you don't, I'll tell you the answer. Anybody coming up with an answer? If we had a we could put on the screen 10, 9, 8. Does anybody have an answer to the question? I'll tell you how you make hormone. You don't pair. Now, how do you get a young male prostitute to knock you in the head with a hammer?
Don't pay him.
Right. Did anybody in the chats get the answer to that? How do you make a hormone?
Quiltar did. Quiltar did. I think.
Oh, he did. Who got it?
Quiltar. Quilt.
Congratulations. You win a Mountain Cupid doll. I got to make them.
Diamond, do you have any questions for Mountain Man? Believe in?
I mean, this guy was I'm sure you all have heard, he was not fully in the country. He's a Canadian citizen. He's in some kind of new colony group, and he has a record of mental illness, and he's a drug addict, and he's homeless, living in a storage shelter, but he can somehow into a high-end home that has security, And from what my understanding is, the community itself is gated. And what, he's running around in his underwear with a hammer, nobody says anything.
Right.
So it's laughably obvious.
Diamond, you got any questions for Mountain Man?
No, but I've got Indian Patriots asking Mountain Man, do you have any news on the calling it the magic beds, but we're going to call them the med beds?
Yeah. What I do want to be, there is so much medical stuff that's being held from us, but I got in trouble with listeners a couple of times. One of them was where I brought up Charlie Ward, and he's been talking about these med beds, and a lot of people subscribe to him. I had somebody left both channels, and I could look at my analytics. I had just finished watching the Phil Godlewski video I did, where he's saying, everybody get off the roads. We're going to stop evil plans from now to get off the road. Total in my
you're
mind.
talking about when Phil was in his car and telling everybody to stay off the roads. Yeah, that was in 2021.
And I said, what am I supposed to do? Go sit in a McDonald's or go walk and sit on a stump till midnight because you say so? But anyway, my point is that you have fans of these people, Penny and all that stuff.
He's a fraud.
Charlie Ward. And if you say anything, saying, look, this stuff is out there, they unsubscribe. I don't want them to. I want them to listen to what I'm saying. We know that there's spiritual issues here. We know there's demonic issues here. We know there's terrible things happening to kids. And I've said, why do you think they wrote the book Hansel and Gretel? You think of that story, the story itself. And, people delving into, yes, there are underground military bases deep in the ground. Yes, if anybody served in Vietnam, try to figure out that tunnel system one time. And we're talking the 60s, and all that was bamboo sticks and shovels, and they did some tremendous engineering work, but it was like whack-a-mole. But anyway, it gets taken far. And with the med thing, I'm going to say there is such that has been withheld from us. But the keystone of their disruption of our physical well-being was the protocols by the Rockefeller Institute back in the 60s concerning medicine, and the food pyramid that is totally wrong. Eating more carbs, bread, and things like that than protein, meat, milk, eggs being bad for you. They cause cholesterol produced by the body. Okay, it's a hormone. Okay, if you don't eat any cholesterol, your body needs it to repair your vessels in cardiovascular system. It's going to go and start making cholesterol.
Right.
And we've been over that. But the thing is that is the first part of it. So they're of course withholding truth, but the thing is that we have generations of people, and say starting with my parents, and late in their life, my grandparents, they get into lifestyle, they eat processed food, and they're being told that real butter is bad, real eggs are bad, this stuff, and they're buying this and made chemically altered. Never mind what we've been talking about in the shoulder. Okay? They've been getting us to introduce into our bodies for decades. That is crap. Did you notice Donald Trump put out something on social where he said something was just like high fructose corn syrup in everything? Did y'all see that in on True Social?
I didn't see it, but I
Well,
know that there's.
I keep telling people to read everybody, all the prognosticators, all these people. Fine, listen, but you better read Trump's posts, even if you think he's talking about the same old stuff, because he'll have one sentence in there that's going to be a hint. And he said it's like high fructose corn syrup in everything. High fructose corn syrup is a man-made fructose, a sugar that the body cannot digest, causes diabetes, causes insulin resistance. You have 12-year-olds that need liver transplant from drinking sodas every day that have high fructose corn syrup. On top of Yoo-Hoos, and you get like a so-called chocolate cookies, you read the back of it, it's going to say high fructose corn syrup.
Oh, and man, they're saying you're breaking up really bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. How about just one product? Do I sound better now?
Mm-mm.
Well, see what I'm saying?
I know. You were
Let me
fine
see.
in the beginning.
Well, let me get a piece of metal out of the way here. Not now. Is this better?
Yep.
Okay.
I think so.
But
she really wants to know, do you know anything about the med beds?
For one thing, let me tell you about when the things start first coming through our country. Trump was talking about UV light. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. There is combinations of things that blame, but the beds being exaggerated. We have to understand that there are people who will put things out there to get people to say things that are so fantastic that they discredit unaware where people.
Are you guys having trouble hearing him? Mountain Man, you're gone now.
Lots.
Yeah. Mountain Man, try bouncing out and coming back in. I'll drop the link for you again. Oh boy, I don't know if I want to do that.
How about now? There. I think I got it. How about now?
You sound okay right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to say that I'll finish it up. It's gotten to the point where they had discussions about beds. People will pretty much lay in for 2 weeks without a new person. There are therapeutic pads that are on sale right now that a guy's shown proof that works, things like that. We know about UV light. We know about all the things that have been talked about by Mr. T in the past. But when it gets to people to talk about eternal life, a relief of all suffering for mankind, those things are not in cards. There are treatments. Moses lived to be 120 years old.
Yeah.
And God told him. That's it. And if you look at it from a theological point, people discuss the Torah and the Talmud and the Old Testament. Moses didn't have a daggone thing wrong with him when he died. He had sharp eyes. He still had his virility. He still had energy, and it was time to go. And the story in the Talmud is, well, I'm getting off subject. I don't want to bore people with it. When Moses died, he prayed so hard he shook the heavens. He ran off the angel of death, and God sent the angel of death back. and Moses said, if, let it be a beast in the field at least, eating the grass, just so I can still see this war made for me. God said, no, it's time to go, Moses. And he said, let me be a bird in the sky. Let me sit on a branch. Let me eat seeds. Can I at least do that so I can still see this beautiful world? Time to go. So he sent the angel of death back, and Jesus had to go. So people that hear these things, med beds, there are advancements, but and I lost a bunch of subscribers. I said, yes, Rush Limbaugh's dead. There are a lot of people that, and that's when I talked about Mike Penny. He was going. There were people on the tube that were saying the most outrageous thing and never got bothered until they started doing like 2-week-long nightly reviews of 17th letter. That's what got kicked off. Before that, they could say anything. They could say anything about Patton being father, about everything, But there's certain realities that are just real. And the med beds, I'm looking at that there is improved medical devices. There's improved medicine that we don't have made available to us. We're being encouraged to take things harmful to us for $1 so people will make money. But to get to the point where there's going to be like Rush Limbaugh having stage 4 cancer and he goes lays in bed for 2 weeks and he's fine, that does not exist. And they don't have Rush Limbaugh in a secret place and then bring him back later. I mean, just like this, it's time to go. And I'm just saying be careful about operatives who get in and drop a notion that is meant for us to repeat and for us to snowball, that credits us and makes the average person not want to listen to what we have to say, which is that there's a big change coming.
Yes.
And this is a tumor. It's like that woman I was talking about that 100 years ago, that doctor volunteered and operated on her primitive instruments, and it took 18 hours, probably more than that. And he got it out of her. And what were they going to do? Take it, like I said, tongue in cheek, a pickup truck, jerk it out of her. You can't do that. You got to take the long route to get this tumor out, and it's worldwide. So as far as people are talking about Nassar, there's going to be an accounting. There's going to be a come-up. One country Trump mentioned is China, and the last figure he had was 50 trillion. Now, the first figure he mentioned was 40. And who knows, a fantastic mind that is right all the time. If anybody can go back and tell me where he hadn't been right, who knows where that number is now? And we're talking one country. So, there's going to be a jubilee. There's going to be a return to a tangible monetary system, not numbers on a screen that are controlled by others. As far as I've been getting ripped off taxes, we've been ripped off on a lot of Social Security. I've had lions, they turn 62 and say, hey, I'm a Social Security. I call a month later and the phone rings, ring. Sorry, I'm not here to call. I call a friend and say, hey, have you seen so-and-so? No, I haven't. Let me go check him. He's dead in bed and he got 4 Social Security checks. He paid in all his life. So, yes, we've been getting ripped off.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
And there is an accounting. There is going to be people being restored. But, it's not the street paved in gold for everybody walking down the street. Just like people that say, hey, I'm going to heaven. Or, yeah, because God wins. Well, you're right, God wins. But how are you so certain that you're going to be saved? Just because you by your deeds you'll be known. I mean, Jesus will look at you and say, I know you. Or he's going to look at you and say, I don't know this person.
That's right.
So that's the way it works. And I see people reveling in a certainty that they're going to be the ones. But I can tell you that many are called and few are chosen. And just by praising God ain't enough. It's up to it. And having a genuine understanding and belief that you're living the way we're told to live and in a holy way. And so many times I see people, one side of the mouth praising God, next side of the mouth, they're doing something that's totally out of bounds and allowed. I had people because I was talking about decode. I was talking about Red. He did a video that said gene code is full of what. And that was the title of his video. And in the video, he took the name and he did the gematria, did it right there on the screen where it said this person is full of it. And a lot of people got mad over that. I have 1,000 subscribers. I didn't get everybody. Let's see. Got Lusky groupies, Mike Penny groupies, Gene Decode, which I think he's a nice guy. Is that the guy? He's a real nice guy, but he's off. I know he's been abused. I know he knows a lot of inside stuff. But anyway, you can name a fake, what's his name? Street Fighter Patriot or whatever he calls himself. But anyway, listen, I call them out. They're doing things they shouldn't be doing or talking about, like with Jake and the tarot cards. Hey, that's out. That's mysticism. That is out. And the thing about decode, the thing about gematria is part of a ancient Hebrew sect, S-E-E-T, sect of Jewish religion, a small sect going back 800 or 900 years. It was developed to apply to the Torah and later to the Talmud. Okay, now, and it's considered mysticism. 10% of the Jewish population, they estimate, believes in this, that belong to, and they call it, they spell C-A-B-A-L or K-A-B-A-L, but it's Kabbalistic mysticism. Yeah.
And they wear, you see those people wearing the red bracelets. You see a lot of actors wearing that. It's all part of the Kabbalah mysticism.
Well, there's beyond. There's a lot of other sub theologies. Believe it or not, Satanism is a theology. So there's a lot of different things that people believe in. You have the Franciscan monk. You have the in the Catholic Church, the Kabbalistic. People talk about the Syrian Mafia. Show me one article. Show me one report of anything about a Syrian Mafia. They can call it whatever they want. There's Russian mafias. There's a Yakuza and the Chinese mafia. There's of course the Indian mafia. You have the American Italian. There's all kinds of different group subsets and sects as in S-E-C-T-S, not the other word. But as far as the red bracelets go, you'll have people that subscribe to weird things. And is what I warn people against, because people who say, "Listen, I'm for God. This stuff is demonic." Blah blah blah, and then they get right playing around with numbers. Now, I'm not talking about numbers to like actually World War II decipher of a message from the enemy that you accepted, trying to decode that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people trying to apply it into everything. Something that was meant by a small group of Kabbalists in the Jewish religion, that was meant for the Talmud and the Torah, to take that and try to apply it to everyday life. That ain't Mrs. Monroe.
Well, the Talmud is all rabbinical interpretation, and that's why it's so controlling. It's not. It's taking the Torah and twisting it and making it so they can control the people. Just like when something is kosher approved, that's just so the rabbis can make money off that stamp. It doesn't have to be kosher approved. It's a way of making money.
Well, I want to tread lightly on other things, because that is the thing to be careful of, because they'll throw a stone at you as you go.
I heard it from a Messianic rabbi whose grandfather was a head of the Sanhedrin. So if he could say it out loud, I guess we can too.
Yeah, just be careful, because they use any reason to.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying it was a small group, Kabbalists, and two different spellings. I'm talking to basically theological part of theological research. I don't say anything about any group other than my own faith, which is that we stay away. Not we. Some people may disagree with me. I stay from mysticism, and it's forbidden, and I don't do it. And if the 17th letter, they did it a couple times, and they exposed how they were doing it to teach people how things are going on. But they're not putting secret messages in there for one reason. I'll tell you why. It's because they want a great awakening. They want as many people as possible to wake up, so they're not sending out stuff that's worth a hill of beans, except to who it's meant to be seen, like that, for what the general population, worldwide, they're trying to get as simple and as clear as possible without violating the law as far as classified information. That is the crux of that site.
Let's see.
And I wasn't trying to cut anything short. I just people say people was Semitic or you're racist or over all kinds of stuff. And even when we talk in circles, you'll get kicked in the head, if you're not careful.
You guys got any more questions for Mountain Man in chat? Throw them out there.
Hey, you know what? I was watching Red October, Sean Connery. I talked about in the past.
Yeah.
And I brought some examples. One I noticed at the end of the movie, about the third to the last sentence, Sean Connery says, a good revolution is healthy. A good revolution now and again is healthy. Something to that effect. So maybe that's part of the the movie Red October.
What do you think about Fancy Nan's daughter conveniently being able to do her filming at J6?
Oh, see now, what did they threw up when that started coming to be a general discussion, what they start then? Nukes, Donald Trump's been subpoenaed. They do that kind of stuff. That was some people normal would grab and look at and say, wait a minute, why was she there? We know why she was there. It's a setup. She's the architect. the mother and the daughter was there helping to reinforce the narrative and make it seem like they were under attack by Trumpers. So we know that case, and that was just gaining traction. So let's defeat Trump. Let's talk about Putin and news, even though Putin and Medvedev have been in front of the UN a month prior to that saying, hey, these guys are getting ready to set off a dirty bomb. And here's the proof. We've arrested 8 people. So, but they don't report on it. The Russians are ringing the bell. But when stuff comes out about Nancy's daughter, boom, they start scaring people with a nuclear bomb.
So do you think, well, how long, in your opinion, would it have taken? How many seconds would it have taken after that type of information was released if it would have been a Republican family member doing the thing flipped the other way? How long do you think it would have taken for them to have been hauled off?
Oh, if it was a Republican had one of their kids coming.
If it was Trump's son.
Oh,
Trump's daughter.
They would have arrested him right away. You know that. If they had any way, any reason to put their hands on Trump, they would do. You know they would do it. They're salivating at putting their hands on him. But the thing is how much of this that I just have it in the back of my mind. I'm not saying anything. How much of this is some of these people having to play along because they're told to? Like Biden. Some of it is just too good to be true. I mean, he's so decrepit and different. You see him looking like that's not the Joe Biden that was on TV yesterday, and one of them actually clucking and clowning and looking silly. And do you think there might be? It's a question for the chats. Do you think there might be a situation where part of the script has been written, and some of these big players have been told, "This is what you're going to do"? Because the most important thing is to have the people understand what's going to happen, why it's going to happen. We said the first rule of law was humanity, limit human suffering. It's the first law of war. And I think it's been decided at the highest levels, multiple governments, that the best thing to do was to create a scenario where people see with their own eyes the danger they are in, but at the same time manage it to where it won't come to fruition, but people will awaken. That's what I feel is a strong possibility that a lot of governments are playing along with us, because I think when Trump came into office, Britain was the United Kingdom, Australia was one, Italy was one, France was another, that were told, you've committed acts of war against us. And by all rights, by international law, we could really thump your ass. And here's what we're going to do. And you can help us. I think that there are certain levels of that situation going on. Don't you guys see that too?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I see it. Okay, so I got another question for you, and I forgot who asked it, so forgive me. I know it was somebody I know very well too, but do you think the 2020 will be overturned?
Well, what's got us all on pins and needles is the Supreme Court. They're going to put out the rule that state legislatures decide election law or the way we're doing it. That's got everybody on pins and needles. Now, I think that you've got, you look at the Supreme Court, you look at all the people we've been talking about as an orchestra. Somebody's conducting this thing to come to a point. If you think of it as music, to come to a crescendo. Think of it as music. You know, when you're listening to music and it reaches that crescendo beauty, and you're like, wow, gosh, it's beautiful. I think that's the way they want this symphony to end, on a high note, a crescendo, and changing, I would say, the outcome. I won't say over the word you use, over, and then the other part earned. I won't say that. A change in the outcome is in the cards. If you look at those words in a legal way, if you look at them in the literal sense, there's a difference between changing the outcome and overturning it. Now, the Supreme Court can, I think what they will do is make their ruling, and that will put it in the hands of the individual states. It'll be the reaction will be looted, just like the Roe v. Wade.
So you're saying that what should have happened with Pence on J6 is going to happen?
I think Pence is on our side. I think he's got to play the bad guy, because if he would have done what Thomas Jefferson did, switched the votes around, there would have been mayhem, and there was no way around it. No way around it. This long road is what we're on. This long, I said a year ago, I said, I feel that we're going to have to go through the midterm elections at the very least. I said that a year ago.
Okay, Mommy, I'm going to pull this question up for you on the screen. Can you read it on the screen or no?
You see. Let me see.
Got a lot of trigger words in there. Oh, wait.
Oh, it does? All right, I won't repeat it. Let me see. Welcome, please be. Okay, why would he and DHE well, God 3. Or the one of the sayings that the Godfather movie is best known for. A lot of people think it's, I'll give him an offer he can't refuse. Well, what's another one of the things they said in The Godfather that is very famous? See if anybody in the chats gets it. What The Godfather said.
Know the enemy.
Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer.
Okay.
And you were right. It didn't come from The Godfather, but know thy enemy. And I've said that in the past because my father always said that to me. He'd look at me and say, know thine enemy.
I got a few more questions, and then I'm probably going to wrap it up because I'm super tired. I did spring cleaning in the fall, Mountain Man.
I know, boring. I know it.
You're not boring. Are you kidding me? I'm loving every minute of this. I just hit another question. Where to go?
Put it on the screen.
Okay, well, I got to find it first. Okay, there you go.
I cleaned my glasses.
Does the military have proof of the lies?
Oh, of course. They've got it all. They got them all. They caught them all. They got it all. Dead to rights.
Everybody's saying you're amazing, Mountain Man.
Oh, I appreciate everybody. I really, really do. And I tell you, as I said in the stream, it may have been taken down. It's terrible to happen, friend. But being taken down.
I'm always here for you, Mountain Man. If you just get me on YouTube, you want to go live, I'll be here for you.
Well, it wasn't hard for me to continue, plus deal with that shock trauma. And, it just kind of, they did, like I said, he had a little dog named Spike, not just the cat here. I got a fool, but a little dog named Spike that might have been alone for a number of days. And because they took me down, may have been why he got attention in time, so.
God does work in mysterious ways.
Yeah, and he loves the little creatures and animals that he created.
That's right.
Yep. So anyway, I appreciate everybody that is in the chats and listening to me. And I know I go off dribbling around in my talks, but I don't have any scripts. I don't have anything down. I just go off the top of my head. Yeah.
You're just you, and that's what I love about you. You keep it real, and I thank you so much.
All these people were that were about leaving. If Trump wins, they're going to Canada. Damn, one of them went.
Right.
If Elon Musk buys Twitter, I'm leaving Twitter. I guarantee you that I'm leave. I wish they'd do what they say. Leave.
Let's end on that note, Mountain Man. What do you think about this whole Elon Musk and Twitter?
Oh, I did at least 2 videos on it. Elon Musk said there will be blood. That was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So if you scroll down through there, you'll see. And I'll tell you exactly what I thought from the very beginning, and hearing it repeated. And that's one of the reasons why I'm like, daggone it, I could have done a video and I would have been first. Like I have been many times past. Ha ha. But anyway, I said to myself, he went in there and he fired these $17 million a year people. Not because he doesn't like them. I think he found evidence of criminality, and I'm down with Landestein, who's on Truth Social, that said, you have the largest military contractor, which is Elon Musk. He gets more money for the Department of Defense than any other human being walked face of the earth. You've got him, and you've got military techies, S-Force, that got the keys to the kingdom. They can go through direct messages. They can go through the history of Twitter and everything that everybody's who's tied into it. And they found criminality. That's why those people got thrown out. The next thing is for some of those people are going to be placed in custody along with a lot of others. And the reason I got taken down this last time was the first time I was taken down for a week was my Twitter espionage video. And people can go on the RUMBLE site and scroll down till they see a bluebird in the window and shadowy people walking at the bottom. And it says espionage, and they can watch that video for themselves, and they can scroll on down and see my 2 videos on Elon Musk where it wasn't a done deal, and he needs to look under the hood, and when he does, it's going to be Katie bar the door.
Just so Chad knows, what Tracy is dropping down there is Mountain Man's backup channel. So that's not the channel he's speaking of. So
yeah.
I'll drop his other channel for you guys.
What I was thinking, see now, Nikki, I appreciate you sending people my way, and also you put a link in for me on the video I got down where they said I was calling for, people to be hurt and stuff like certain groups, which I'm not, and I was going to do something on Rumble. But even with you, even with Red, even with Liberty Warrior, you're looking at 60 views, So I do a video. They're only getting there. It's not in the algorithm at all. I have people message me on Truth Social. Please post something. Everything you do is so good. I miss you. And they watch me. They're one of the dozen people that watch on Rumble. And especially with the stuff that's going on, to sit there for 3 hours and do a half an hour video post because I can't go live on Rumble. And then it takes an hour to upload it to Rumble, and you have a dozen people watch it. So I didn't do it, and take a chance like our cheek friend. I won't say who he is because I don't want him to get in trouble. But he went to his backup channel, and kudos to him. And I want him to succeed. I want him to keep getting viewers. But I got a personal love note from the tube that says if I do that, I'm gone.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I said it earlier, and I posted a copy of it on Truth Social. And I tell you, I'm going to do a video.
What's your link on Truth Social, Mountain Man?
They got to get on Truth Social. I got an Android. It was easy as pie.
I know. I said, what is your name? Is it Mountain Man on Truth Social?
Oh, I thought you said nobody here will Truth Social. It's Mountain Man.
I said, what is your name on Truth Social?
Mountain Man.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. So I just want to say real quick to the chat that the link that Tracy's been dropping, Mountain Man 2, is his backup channel. And I just dropped Mountain Man Says. That is his main channel. So go sub to Mountain Man.
Did they burn down Liberty Warrior yet, or does he still got his channel going?
Well, I think he's burning down a couple channels, Mountain Man.
They took him down?
No, he's burning 5 channels down.
But they haven't taken him down. I'm fine. Gosh, I'm trying to throw order on my channel. I still get taken down. He wants to take him down. Don't take him down. What's going on, screwballs? At the tube. But yeah, I'll go back. I'll go back over to Warrior. But I'm going to do a video on Rumble. I think I'll do a couple of short videos, like 10, 15 minutes a piece. One of them is going to be how to get on Truth Social.
They're asking for your link on Rumble. Are you Mountain Man on Rumble too?
I'm Mountain Man Speaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's got all my videos that I haven't voluntarily taken down because when Give Me Strikes, I took my videos down thinking it would help. Now I know it doesn't. So I got 145 videos, maybe 146, but I've really done 150 some between what I've taken down myself and what they've taken down. It's frustrating because it's a lot of work for nothing, Yeah, I get some support. I got supporters. Robin is out there. Tell her I said hi, and Aaron, and then I got somebody 1 and somebody 2 that supports me. But other than that, I don't get no support.
Did you just upload a video yesterday on Rumble or no?
No.
I always have such a problem finding people's channels on Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble's a little weird. Rumble's a little weird, but hopefully they'll change that. But I'll get the link to. Huh?
Do you have a link for your Rumble?
I don't have a share button. Let me see.
If you put it in the private chat, can you get to the private chat?
Yeah, but I can't go off the screen to get the link to copy it.
Mountain Man, would it be okay to share your email with me?
Why don't you? Can you message me on Truth Social?
I'm gonna look you up. Is there a way to private message on Truth Social?
I don't know. We can find out. There's a way we can talk and then delete it.
Yeah, or we could even do that on YouTube, actually. Okay, we'll figure it out. Okay. I just thought it'd be easy that you could email and then I could drop it. But.
And the reason I'm doing it this way, I'm not trying to be antisocial. But I had one person in particular. I had a number of people that were like private ways to get a hold of me, and it's like I couldn't. Hey, you got hundreds of people, and you can't do that. What I mean? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yep, I'm listening to you. Sorry, I got distracted on something. Okay, well, I'm going to end this for tonight because I'm exhausted. But let's do it again, Mountain Man. Let's make a plan. We'll do it again.
I don't know how long I'm on suspension for. I was thinking about it. What I was saying was I might do a little test video on this one with the skull on it, a Punisher, Mountain 2 TOO, and when I
When are you gonna
post
do
on
that?
Rumble. I don't know when I'm thinking about putting up a Rumble video and then going on Mountain Man 2 saying, hey, my Rumble video is up, but I can't put links in Mountain Man 2 because it's only got 179 subscribers, something like that. Plus you gotta have so many hours of view time for you can even put a link in. Did you know that?
You got to have how many hours of view time?
At least I think 1,000 hours before you can post links on your channel.
Oh my gosh.
I know. But see, I got over 4,000 so fast. Red was talking about it the other night. I'm at probably 7,000 hours now. Right?
So you got to have
That's what
you got to have watch time?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I probably got that already. All right. Okay. Tracy Q has found your Rumble channel.
Yeah.
Did she
Can they put it in?
Yeah. That's it, Tracy.
And if people like the person that saw my Phil Godlewski video and unsubscribed from both my channels, come on, man. We got to be in the battle together. And if I can't deal with a person like Godlewski telling the truth, if that makes somebody mad and makes them unsubscribe, I'm probably not out much, but I don't view subscribers that way. I want you, back, get off that train of the 7K gold and all the other things I talked about. If you want to get in and pay and get involved in something like that, it's your money, take a risk, whatever. But as far as his method of secret stuff, and I have connections, and if you can't by now see the horse hockey, and if I can't talk about it, that makes me upset. I'm sorry for you. But I wish you'd listen to what I have to say because I pay attention to Mr. Trump. I pay attention to his rallies, and that's where it's at as far as where this country is going.
I can't find you on Truth Social. So Mountain Man says
it should just be. It might be Mountain Man says.
I can't find you.
Are you on Truth Social, Nikki?
I am.
What, are you under Nikki B, just like your channel name?
You know what? That's a darn good question. What I'm under? Yep, Nikki. I'm just under Nikki.
NICKI.
NICKIE.
Okay.
See if you can find me because I can't find you.
Okay. There's a lot of mountain men out there.
Yep.
Come on, big boy. Come on.
All right, Mountain Man. Well, I'm going to wind this down for tonight. I appreciate you so much coming on and letting us pick your brain.
Well, I appreciate it. Did you get a link? Did you link to Rumble where your videos will automatically upload?
I did not.
Oh, Nikki.
I got to do that. I don't even know how to do it. I'll figure it
All
out.
you got to do, listen to me, honey.
Okay.
All you got to do is go to Rumble, and they'll say start an account, and you put your account in exactly the way your YouTube one is if it hadn't been taken, with a capital B, no space in the Nikki part. See, because if I put in Nikki B and I put a space in between the name and the B,
yeah,
it won't show up right away. But if you put in just the way you have it, capital N, spell out the name, no space, capital B, you'll come up.
The problem is I started a Rumble account just to watch Rumble, and I'm under a different name. So I would have to make a new Rumble account.
You can. When you go on Rumble, you can hit a button that says content, and it'll probably say you have no content. But, you play with it, and it'll say, do you want to do a second account? You go, yes, and do a second account. And then, just read along, because it'll tell you how to put in your YouTube link. And they will automatically suck your videos out of YouTube and put them on Rumble. It'll take overnight, but they'll do it. And YouTube can't take them down.
Okay.
And that beautiful broadcast we did last time would still be with us.
I know. Well,
this is peanuts compared to what we did that night.
Yeah. Well, you know what is, we do live in America, and this is bull crap is what it is.
Wow.
So,
but open up a second account. It's easy as pie. And I gave people advice. Somebody put in my chats, I can't deal with all the different passwords. Well, first of all, if somebody gets your Rumble or your YouTube account, what are they going to do?
Right.
So you get a password that you remember. Let's just say Jack. And you put a capital F, because you got to have one capital letter, and the rest of it you just spell out flapjack, and put an exclamation point at the end, and that's your password. And then when you go to you go from that password at YouTube, go to Rumble, you use 2 exclamation points, same password. You go to a third Odyssey or whatever, put a question mark, and just or 3 exclamation points. The best thing to do is use one symbol and multiply them 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you say, "No, does this have 1 exclamation point? Oh yeah, that's it. Oh no, let me try 3. Oh, that's so it's easy. You just you don't have to utter your mind all different kinds.
You have no idea how many passwords I have in my head. I'm still working, so I got passwords for everything at work.
Well, flapjack's a good one.
All right, well, I'm going to end it, you guys. I'm exhausted. So, Mountain Man, thank you so much. We'll do it again real soon. And thank you for coming, Believin'. You didn't say much, but I appreciate you being here with me.
Oh, no problem. Thanks, Mountain Man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Diamond. Thank you, Believin'.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hey, Believin', you were with us. You were with us on the one that got taken down, weren't you, honey?
Yes, she
Part
was.
of it, but not the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Well,
EOT was with us, and I think I'm not sure who else was there. Maybe Gigs. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you guys all enjoyed it.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night. And put a comment in after the video. Put a comment in after the video. That helps too. In the hard comments, I call it the hard comments. That helps videos get around.
It does. All right. Good night. God bless everybody. We'll see you
Okay.
tomorrow.
Good night, guys.
Good night.